It has been exactly 2 years, people, since Hurricane Sandy slammed into the East Coast. The storm ripped apart towns all over New York and New Jersey, severely damaged others, including some right here in Connecticut. News 8's Kent Pierce is live along the shoreline to mark this anniversary with a look back at the disaster and how far we have come and how far we haven't come, Kent, since then.
Very true. And Jim, we didn't have the wholesale destruction like Mantoloking, New Jersey or Breezy Point in New York, but there were still certainly neighborhoods and towns that were severely impacted by Sandy 2 years ago today. I remember being on a beach just like this one here in Milford 2 years ago today, watching the waves crashing onto the shore. A shore that today, just hear a little bit of water lapping there. One of the lasting legacies, though, is right behind me here. So many homes now look like this. 2 years ago, you couldn't park underneath that house. The house was down on the ground. Since Sandy, so many homes and buildings have been raised up 10, 12, 15 feet, depending on where they are. So now these folks are parking underneath their house, and hopefully their house is safe from whatever storm comes next. It was an easy decision for a lot of people to do that, especially with the 1-2 punch of Irene in August of 2011 and then Sandy 14 months later. An easy decision to raise your house if you had the money to do so. It cost about $100 grand to do that, but a lot of people were hoping that FEMA checks would help pay for that. A lot of people are still hoping that because 2 years later, there is a lot of confusion over the process of getting reimbursed by the federal government. There are state agencies helping out. There are other agencies that are offering loans and things like that. But even just last month, there was a meeting down in Fairfield. Our friends at the Connecticut Post say there was confusion over whether the loans could be repaid by FEMA checks. It's still a lot of paperwork, a lot of red tape, and a lot of frustration. Even 2 years later, that may be the real lasting legacy of Superstorm Sandy for Connecticut. We're live in Milford this morning. I'm Kent Pierce. Back to you.